everyone, this is Kassie and these are the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of January 10th to January 16th. The deck we'll be using today is the Joie de Vivre Tarot by Paulina Cassidy, which means the joy of living. And this is the second deck of this artist. First it was the Paulina Tarot deck, which was much busier and complex, but this one is a very good one for beginners. You can check out last week's predictions if you click on the video on top right of the screen. And if you are looking for a more personal tarot reading, you can always find me on my website, an easy-to-use online platform, www.kassiekai.com, where me and other psychics offer online readings. But let's see what kind of energies we will experience this week. For Aries, we had the Page of Pentacles and now the Three of Wands. You have taken the first step in a certain direction, and perhaps news or a message you received last week with the Page of Pentacles helped you with that. And now you have done your share and you wait to see if the investment you made, and that could be investment in money, time or emotional energy, is returned and is profitable. And that doesn't mean you will be passive. It means that you are watching, waiting and reflecting on what has transpired the previous days. And you must be waiting for more news or the reaction of someone, and you will get news that say a situation is moving forward in a calm and realistic way. Also, it's possible you will receive news from abroad, from foreign countries, or there will be a connection to foreign places or people who live away from you, and you may decide to organize a trip, or there will be news about traveling. Also, if you are in a long-distance relationship, you will plan something with your partner, and you will be making plans to meet up or something along these lines. This week things will start moving faster and your moods will improve. You will feel more optimistic as you will receive positive news you've been expecting for a while now. Also, if you have been in a dilemma or you were trying to make a decision, expect that this week a third element will appear, something that was not there or you could not see before. And now this element or person, it could be a person too, shows up and in some way influences the situation. There will be a very significant event that will happen around the end of March or the beginning of April. Make a note for those months. It appears they will be significant. The Three of Wands astrologically is the Sun in Aries, and that could be a very active and direct approach to things. So if you are wondering how someone feels about you, expect that they will make a very direct move, something that will show you without a doubt that they are attracted to you, and since threes represent growth, there will be progress and steps ahead. This is a good week to get things done, as your energy levels will be high, and even though the keyword for this card is waiting, that's not a passive waiting. It's about taking charge of a situation, knowing that the universe is on your side and that your effort will produce the desired results. For Taurus, we had the King of Swords and this week the Queen of Swords. It's interesting that you got the King of Swords and this week it's the Queen of Swords, which means that overall you are dealing with the same energies as last week. So you must still be dealing with a person who's an air sign or ascendant, Gemini, Libra or Aquarius, or who has the traits of air signs. And what's expected is that this person will lighten up a bit because the King of Swords is very serious and rather cold emotionally. And so is the Queen, but with the Queen things are a little more mellow, a little more passive, which means that this person will probably open up just a little bit and show more emotion than he or she showed last week. However, you still have a long way to go before this person fully opens up, and that will be their decision anyway, something you cannot control or force. So let them open up out of their own volition and free will. It appears that communications will continue to be intense. There will be phone calls, messages, emails, and also lots of activity on social media. Something that happened between 12th September and 12th October, especially in the area of communications, like a message or a conversation you had, will be repeated or re-examined now, and that could be either romantic or professional. So a job you have applied back then and you were rejected, for instance, may be offered again this week, or you may have stopped communicating with someone and now communication will pick up again. Be a little cautious though, because this queen often foretells arguments and conflicts, especially if you have history of conflicts with a certain person and you easily push each other's buttons. This is a good time to try and make sense of your reactions or another's reactions, and that means you need to be willing to go within and see what is causing certain behaviors, and then share your thoughts, feelings and desires openly and honestly, especially if there are mind games that are going on for too long now. This is a week that you can put things on a different basis if you manage to communicate what you want clearly and resolve misunderstandings that happened in the past. As you can imagine, the King of Swords with the Queen of Swords are very similar energies, and that means you and another person can work harmoniously together in order to overcome difficulties in a personal or professional setting. For Gemini, the cards were the World for last week and the Magician for this week. This week will be about yourself, as the Magician is the card of the self. For example, you may have to stand up for yourself, to defend yourself, or to make yourself a priority. But I suspect, since last week you had the World, you will probably have to make your plans, your intentions, or your needs known to someone or to a group of people, and you will do that in a way that will be quite clever and diplomatic. So whatever you achieved last week or whatever was completed will give you inspiration and motivation to go ahead with further plans or to plan your next steps. You will feel very confident about what you want to achieve, and your plans may actually involve traveling or people who live abroad, or it could also be about expansion if we're talking about career. For instance, you will decide to expand your business or to partner with people from other countries or to use the internet to make some money. So you will be dealing with the creative aspects of something. The Magician at times represents an on and off relationship, and in combination with the World, the person it represents may be someone who's traveling often or who lives in a different city or country, and the dynamics of your connection with that person might be a little weird because you don't really know where you stand with them, and they are coming and going, and maybe they are an air sign or ascendant, which means Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Now, what this person is doing is that they are trying to control a situation, to make it on their own terms. And they are doing that in a very clever way, so perhaps you haven't yet figured out what is going on. It's important that you pay attention to patterns and how this person acts and reacts, because there must be patterns that are repeating. For instance, the frequency they communicate with you, or maybe they communicate on specific days, or they disappear after you make a specific request. So try to notice what is being repeated here, and maybe that will give you a greater understanding of what is going on. The Magician is associated with communications, action, messages, intellectual activities, and traveling, so this will be a good week to get involved in any of the above. For Cancer, we had the Knight of Swords and now the Queen of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords last week must have given you ideas, clarity, and maybe you have taken some distance from a stressful situation, or someone else took distance or became unresponsive. But with the Queen of Pentacles you got this week, Energies will settle down a little because the Queen of Pentacles is an Earth card, and Earth offers stability, and that's a card that blends really well with your own energy as you are a water sign, and water and Earth are very compatible. So this week you will put things on a more stable and realistic base, and if there have been arguments and misunderstandings, they will be resolved now, or you will be able to find practical solutions if that's required to improve a situation. Developments and progress will be less fast than last week, so don't expect breakthroughs this week or a big change or any bold moves, but do expect slow and solid progress. And that's not necessarily a problem, and maybe slowing down a bit is what is needed at this stage. The Queen of Pentacles represents a person of an earth sign, usually a Capricorn, who will require your time, energy and attention this week. And also, since Pentacles are associated with the physical body, your physical activities will be more intense this week, sexual energies too. You will do extremely well in practical matters, career, money or property matters. And if you're looking for a job, this week you might get a positive response. You will receive good news about finances and a practical issue you've been dealing with for a while now. It appears that this week will finally get sorted. You will find it easier to approach any situation with a down-to-earth and sensible attitude, and you will have to be resourceful with what you have and avoid taking big risks. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, the Queen of Pentacles shows loving and sexual feelings and the potential to develop a situation over time, but you need to give it the time to develop organically. Pentacles are slow, but they foretell long-lasting results if you are willing to invest your time and energy. For Leo, we had the Eight of Wands and now it's the Chariot. The Eight of Wands you got last week is a high energy card, and so is the Chariot. So expect a lot of energy this week, a lot of action, determination, and things will continue to move and progress, maybe not as fast as last week, because the Eight of Wands is the card of swiftness, but the Chariot too has an energy that does not give up and will continue to push forward. So whatever you have in mind to achieve, you want to achieve it at all costs. However, under this energy, there's a risk to push too far or too much and to force things in a way that will generate resistance from someone. So you want to make sure that you are balanced and controlled and that you are not overdoing it with force and pressure. Since both cards are associated with traveling, it's possible you will make plans to travel in the near future, or you may have an unexpected visit and someone from far away will come to see you, or you may be planning to move in a new home or even to another city or country. All those matters are blessed by the energy of the Chariot, so this is a good week to get involved in any of the above. Maybe you are dealing with a person who's a water sign, probably Cancer, and perhaps this person is going hot and cold, opening up and then being closed off again, guarded. So maybe they made something bold or spontaneous, then regret it, and they shut off and shut you out. That doesn't mean they don't have feelings, on the contrary. Usually under this energy, emotions run deep, but they don't always show it. They do this back and forth because they are protective of their feelings and they are trying to rein in their emotions in a way that they don't let those emotions overtake them. Now, if that's making you feel stressed, uncertain and sad, examine the reasons you want to be with this person or try to figure out the reasons they want to be with you. Don't be surprised if you find that past hurts or baggage play a very important role in this case, so you need to take into account your past and their past in order to gain a better understanding of what is going on and what to expect without taking things too personally. For Virgo, we had the Magician and now the Two of Wands. You got the Magician, an air card, and the Two of Wands now, a fire card. and air and fire strengthen each other, making things more intense. You will definitely feel much stronger this week. You will feel that you can have anything you think of and that there's no one that can stop you. With 2 cards of high energy and power, you will be in control of your life and any situation, and if anyone tried or is trying to deceive you, you will easily see through their lies and deception, and you will also do what you need to do, even if that means to take action against them in order to protect yourself. 2s are associated with the magician anyway, so their energy is very similar, and under these 2 energies you have nothing to fear, and if another person is trying to control, manipulate or intimidate you, you can respond in a way that shows such power that they will not dare attempt to hurt you again in any way. So this could be a week that you take your strength back, especially if you felt that another person holds power over you. You will also have to make a decision this week, a decision that's probably made already, but you need to absorb and accept it and bring it to your conscious awareness in order to take action on it. 1s are cards of action and they hate hesitation and procrastination, but the energy of 2s always brings some uncertainty, so try to be gentle with yourself if you still have second thoughts about something, and give yourself the time to explore all available options, and that's because very soon you will have an option that will be worth considering. If you are wondering how someone feels about you, there is some hesitation and ambiguity because they don't really know how to go ahead with things and what to do, and there might be elements and influences that you are not aware of. So wait and see how things will unfold in the coming weeks. The 2 of Wands is Mars in Aries. Your desires and sex drive will be very strong this week, but you may also have to deal with competition. However, Mars is a warrior, and in Aries he is in his element, which means that much can be accomplished these days. This energy will make you direct, determined, and full of energy, so just make sure that you don't say something you will later regret. The energy of Mars in Aries can make you act very impulsively, so maybe that's a point that needs a little caution this week. For Libra, we had the Knight of Wands and now the King of Cups. Things are getting more emotional this week, as from the Knight of Wands, who's a very active, sexual and intense energy, you got the King of Cups, a love card that gives the message that this week you will be dealing with personal relationships or concerns about a relationship. The King of Cups is male energy, and he probably represents a water sign or ascendant man in your life, a Pisces, Scorpio or Cancer. This person will require your attention this week, and there will be talks about feelings, or he will express his feelings in some way that might be very romantic, as this person is very connected to his emotions. Now, since you got the Knight of Wands last week, who's unstable and unpredictable at times, it appears that energy is changing now, and someone will get more stable, less unpredictable, and more loving and considerate too, especially when it comes to your feelings and what you expect from this person. The King of Cups is a passive card, so don't expect too much action, at least not the kind of action you got last week, so developments will be slower. You may find that this person is expressing his feelings in indirect and subliminal ways, and that could be a gesture, a message, or even a smile, so it's a non-verbal communication you are looking for. Also, you may feel very connected to someone energetically, telepathically. You may feel his presence very strongly, even if you are far away from each other, in a different city or in a different country, it doesn't matter. You will feel this strong connection. If you want to know how a situation will progress, a deeper emotional connection will be formed, or if you are interested to know how a career or financial matter will go, it appears that you might need some help. But a little caution here, because at times the King of Cups can be someone who's pretending to help, but deep down they have their own agenda and bad motives. The King of Cups can be manipulative in business and use subconscious manipulative ploys, so don't trust another blindly unless you have some reference or you know what you're doing. Events that took place between 13 October and 12 November may come to a completion this week, or someone you are dealing with around that time will resurface, or you may experience very similar energies, but perhaps you will be required to respond or react in a different way. For Scorpio, we had the Six of Swords and now the King of Pentacles. This week you will find that action you took last week, and that could be that you distance yourself from someone or a certain situation, those actions will bring more stability into your life this week, which means that the new options and new destinations you decided to explore are now looking more promising, and they give the promise of more solid and long-lasting results. So perhaps a man in your life, someone who's probably an earth sign or ascendant, Virgo, Capricorn or Taurus, will get more serious and more realistic, especially if in the previous weeks he has been acting immature. There will be more effort, and you will probably work together to try and fix aspects of a relationship that do not work, or things that do not work for both of you, and common ground needs to be found. The King of Pentacles is a very practical and down-to-earth energy, so if there are practical matters, obstacles that stand in the way, this will be an auspicious week to resolve such issues, and that could be money, taxes, investments, career matters that may influence other areas of your life too. Money matters and matters of property will be resolved after effort, and perhaps after the intervention of someone in a position of authority. So if you need help and you know such a person, don't hesitate to contact them and ask them for help. The combination of the Six of Swords with the King of Pentacles means that you may have to travel in order to meet someone, and that could be a short, a fast trip, and it could be either for business or for personal reasons, or someone may visit you in order to resolve a conflict. It's possible that you will have to deal with a family or property matter in which a conservative approach is advised, as there might be someone who's opposed to your plans or to your ideas. Under the energy of this king, it's best to try to avoid bold or risky moves, especially if you are making long-term plans and investments. A practical matter is completing this week, so expect good news about loans, money and career. You may start planning a significant event that will happen between April and early May, or something that happened in April or May last year may be completed now or will require your attention again this week. For Sagittarius, we had the Two of Wands and now the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is the card before the Two of Wands that you had last week, so perhaps you will decide to take a step back and to re-examine decisions you made last week, or you may even decide to restart something and explore new ways of going ahead with things. The Ace of Wands is about what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. Other aces, for example the Ace of Cups, is about how you want to feel, what to do to reach emotional fulfillment. But the Ace of Wands is about what action you want to take, and through that action you start manifesting your potential. The Ace of Wands is the first stages of a project or a relationship or a professional situation, and maybe you will have to take a good look and see if the potential of a situation seems to be in tune with what you want to do and what you want to have in your life. So if you are wondering about how someone is feeling about you, there is strong attraction, strong sexual energies, although they might have decided to take a step back this week and rethink the situation between you. Feelings remain warm and positive. The energy of Aces is very fragile and it needs patience and nurturing to grow, so it's basically about relaxing and enjoying those slow steps and the first stages of a situation or a relationship. And yes, there will be differences and energies that you will have to explore and adapt if you want to pursue a certain outcome, which means that you also need to remain flexible and don't jump into conclusions. As this Aces fire energy not only will get you energized, but it will also make you impatient. And Ace is the first stages. There's a need to get to know another better. Developments will continue this week. You will feel very energized, very inspired, and at the beginning of this week, someone will make a move that will trigger a series of events and developments that will continue unfolding until the end of the week. There will be messages, communications, and something will happen that will open a door for you. With the Ace of Wands, the timing is now. So if you've been expecting news or a message, a visit, the wait is over. And this week you will finally experience what you want to experience. Or if you are wondering what's the best time to take action or to start something, this is a good week to go ahead with whatever plans you may have. For Capricorn, we had the Ace of Cups and now the Eight of Cups. With the Ace of Cups you got last week, maybe you were thinking about a new start or a restart you were planning to make in a personal or professional relationship, but this week there will be an event or a realization that will probably get you rethinking whether you should go ahead with it or not, especially if there has been something that has turned you off or some sort of pattern that is being repeated over and over and you want it to stop. And you may decide to give up a situation that you are not feeling good in it anymore. And on top of that, there must be another option or another calling that appears much more appealing. The energy of this card will push you beyond your boundaries and whatever you have created. And that's because deep down you know that change is needed, but you did not know how to go about it. Well, now it seems that the universe will help you with that, and it will create the right conditions for you to move on from situations that do not serve your best interest anymore. And there seems to be a brighter future ahead, and you will get signs and indications, and within 8 days or so, look for those signs, look for guidance, because there will be guidance from life and from your own higher self. The Eight of Cups is Saturn in Pisces, and that means someone may get uncomfortable if you get too emotional, because Pisces is associated with feelings and emotional states, but Saturn is rigid. He's a great taskmaster, so he doesn't understand sensitivity very well. He would rather give tough love, so wait for another time to share your deeper feelings. Better observe how energies are shifting at the moment. The Eight of Cups is a water card, and water is fluid, which means that you haven't seen the end result yet, and things are still unfolding. There will be some significant events that will take place between 19 and 28 February, and you may decide to plan a trip for then or around that time, and there will be a change that will occur and will drastically change the dynamics of a situation. Also, think about what was going on 8 months ago, as you may experience very similar energies or a lesson you learned back then will have to be applied in the current situation. For Aquarius, we had the Page of Wands and now it's the Strength. Last week's Page of Wands must have opened a door for you or must have triggered a new beginning in something, and now with the Strength, it appears that you will be very focused and determined to develop something and take it to the next level. And that's because a page is the initial stages, but now you have the opportunity to make it grow, be it a relationship or a professional situation. You will feel that it's worth your time and effort, and even if there might be some obstacles initially, you will work with someone to overcome those obstacles. As the Strength is one of the cards of patience and perseverance, perhaps things will move a little more slowly than you want, and maybe that's one of the challenges of this stage, because the Page of Wands can be very active but also very impatient, and you are still under its influence, so you will probably have to fight impatience and discipline yourself. If you are wondering about someone's feelings, you may find that there are strong and passionate feelings, but at the same time they are held back and repressed. This person cannot express their feelings at this stage, as there's something that's blocking them. It could be because they are committed to another, or because they have a professional or friendly relationship with you and they don't want to compromise that. So it might not be the right timing to take things further with someone, as they feel that the appropriate action is to hide their feelings at the moment. The Strength is a card of control. That's why if you want to know how something will progress will be probably slow, because there's a need to put things on a strong foundation, creating the right circumstances for it to develop, the right conditions, without disrupting anyone's life at the moment. And that might be one of the challenges here. Acting in a way that will not compromise anything and anyone, and that will probably take some time and effort. The Strength is also about coming to terms with the limitations of a situation and accepting that proceeding with force or impatience will not be the wise decision. It's about taking calculating risks, ensuring that all people involved will be safe physically and emotionally. For Pisces, we had the Six of Wands and now it's the Seven of Wands. The transition from the Six of Wands to the Seven of Wands may come with some challenges, because the Six of Wands means that you had help and support from someone or a group of people who shared the same vision and supported your plans, but this week it feels that opposition is arising and you may have to defend those ideas of yours, your plans, or even a relationship from outside the influences that will attempt to mess things up one way or another. You may feel that everyone's against you and that you have to defend your position no matter what, and you will probably get too defensive. You may even decide to give someone an ultimatum, or someone else may give you an ultimatum, and you will probably find that very unfair. It's very important at this stage to be aware of why you are doing the things that you are doing and the purpose behind your action. You don't want to attack anyone unnecessarily, but you shouldn't accept another's attacks unfairly either. You don't want to drain your energy under this influence, because too much resistance could exhaust you or another who is the recipient of your actions. The Seven of Wands is a fire card, and so is the Six of Wands you had last week, and that's a very intense fiery energy that you may find a little uncomfortable as you are a water sign and you may not like so much intensity at this stage. However, at the same time, the Seven of Wands can energize and push you to action, as the Seven of Wands is Mars in Leo, which means that your words, your actions, and your presence will make a strong impression. You will have great self-confidence, you believe that you are right. Just make sure you have the goods to back up your plans, your ideas, and anything you do will come with a great pride. But there are two sides in this coin. Make sure that whatever you do is for the right reasons, because if it's not, you will find that other people or the person you are interested in will be very opposed to what you're trying to do, and they will block you in every turn. Under this influence, you want to put yourself and your needs first, which is okay as long as you don't become too self-centered or uncompromising, not taking another's needs and expectations into account. A significant event will happen in 6-7 days, and that will change the dynamics and the outcome of a situation. So these were the weekly tarot scopes for the week of January 10th to January 16th. I hope you find them helpful, and I will see you next week.